The highly anticipated LEGO Star Wars Venator-Class Republic Attack Cruiser is finally here. Thank you LEGO for sending it over. A 1 meter long monster with a monstrous price and a monstrous matching box. So let's start there. Comparing its box to the one from the new Ghost doesn't look all that crazy until you turn it on its side and you see how deep it is. As is often the case with sets this big, the Venator has two separate boxes inside, with each of them having some blurry shots of the ship, as seen in Revenge of the Sith, though the building instructions mention the attack cruiser as being a model based off of the Clone Wars animated series, so maybe it would have made more sense to include shots from that source, like they did on the instruction booklets for the usual rundown of the set, with some backstory, stats, details, words from the designers and the correct way to pick up the model, like this. Upon picking it up, it feels sturdier and less wobbly than the UCS Millennium Falcon in my opinion, which is great and makes carrying it around feel less intimidating. The ship is supported by two black stands built into the ship so you can't remove them. The size of this thing is massive and images don't do it justice. It's only when you see it in person that you can truly understand the scale and proportions. For your reference, it closely matches the size of the retired Imperial Star Destroyer, being about the same length, but not as wide or tall. And with that out of the way, let's dive into the model details. I've seen people wondering why the bridge is colored red instead of grey, which people are more familiar with, and the reason is that this is regarded as a command ship, the vessel that carries the commanding admiral of a fleet, in this case Wolf Yuleran, included as one of the exclusive minifigures of the set, therefore making this Venator the Resolute, Jedi General Anakin Skywalker's flagship, though this isn't mentioned anywhere and is just guesswork at this point. I think it was a great choice going for the red bridge to make it look far more interesting, though the pieces used for it in dark red aren't that hard to come by in grey, and it shouldn't be too hard changing the bridge if you prefer it that way. Here's a better look at the customization. At the top, the sneaky technique of placing tiles on clips elements is cool and not illegal by the way, and the trans blue pieces help give a sense of scale to the model. The way these sections were built at an angle was also great to put together, but I can't really say the same about the internal structure though. It's your usual large Technic frame with large plate sections to cover it up. I was impressed however by how seamless the angles of the different plate sections come together, hiding ugly gaps away, so kudos to the designer for that. But it's a great time to mention that the model does not have any interior detailing despite having this much empty space inside, so it's a bit of a miss I think. On both sides of the bridge there's 4 double-barreled turbo laser turrets made with LEGO minifigures key pull elements, which was a nice part usage, the iconic red stripes and a sticker with the open circle Armada emblem. Yes, the set does have stickers, which is unfortunate given the price point, but not too terrible when compared with other sets, as this model only has 6, with another 2 being here. The way this dark red section folds at an angle is super satisfying, and simpler markings in the underside of the ship can also be found, though clearly attention to detail here wasn't that big of a concern to the design team when compared to the top side, but there's still some details to be seen though. Then there's all of the gribblies on the old trenches of the Venator, including 2 sets of dual turbo lasers, and further back an open docking bay complete with a micro-scaled gunship according to the building instructions. I personally don't see it. On the opposite side of the ship, the docking bay has the blast doors closed. There's also some point defense laser cannons here, and further back the impressive looking ion thrust engines. The use of wheel elements give the engines lots of texture, and the titanium metallic color makes them stand out in a very nice way. They're actually locked into the model quite well, except for this one, making it feel a bit loose and sagging a little. Same with the big ones that you can kinda see aren't element perfectly aligned with the bricks in the back, where we find the last two stickers the set has. The model looks amazing overall, but the back of the bridge is my least favorite part of the whole build. It feels like it doesn't really match the rest of the design, and not in a good way. Finally, we get to these extras of this set. The printed info plaques are here to stay, as seen with the UCS X-Wing and Chewbacca, though they still haven't fixed the poorly looking injection mark right in the middle. To the right, an exclusive printed brick with the Clone Wars 20th anniversary logo, and towards the left, the minifigures of this set. Wolf Ularen was only seen before as a minifigure in a polybag, and a much older version of the character, so now we get a younger one with his Republic uniform and dual expression head. Highly sought after fan favorite Captain Rex with blue cloth pauldron is back. For the sake of this video, I decided to put together my brand new one from 10 years ago for the first time ever, potentially ruining some of its value to make a comparison between the two, so if nothing else, please subscribe. Torso has a similar amount of detail, though the new one has printed arms. It lost the black cloth kama in the process, which is represented by prints in the new leg element, but does feature feet prints the old version didn't have. The helmets have a similar amount of detail, but I like the new head element better. Honestly, it doesn't feel like the vastly superior upgrade I thought it would be, but it's an impressive minifigure nonetheless, and maybe now the perfect Captain Rex lies between a mix of both of these minifigures. I do want to mention that the antenna attachment for the helmet came pre-packed in this plastic foil, so after you're done with the build you get all of these extras that should be useful for army building purposes. I've said this plenty before, big sized models such as these aren't as appealing to me because they're 10 times harder to display when compared to things like the microscale Executor Superstar Destroyer, but fans will be fans and will find a way to make it work, I'm sure, so it's up to you. Pricing, however, makes it hard to swallow, as is usually the case with large-sized UCS Star Wars sets such as these. You'll be paying $650 for a LEGO model with 5,400 pieces. It does have the exclusive prints and minifigures, lots of large-sized LEGO elements, the Disney tags, and all of that paper for the instruction booklets and 3 boxes isn't exactly free, so it feels justified considering cost of production. But the Razor Crest for $50 less packs 800 more pieces and extra minifigures, giving you, in my opinion, better value out of your money. The Venator is undeniably an amazing LEGO model every way you look at it. It just feels a bit expensive. This one here has a lot better value, I think, so consider watching that video next.